Real quick, this will be a quick video. Clef High recently said in one of his video updates regarding the webbot, some immediacy data and stuff, he's talked about silver, something about $18.88, and then it would jump up and it could possibly double, around doubling, somewhere $38 in a very rapid period of time by again, potentially the end of July, which he said recently, plus or minus about 7 days, about a week. But there's two interesting things here. The webbot, I've already done some of the videos recently. The female hero thing, all the stuff happening. And I find it amazing that it can nail stuff like that. But when it comes to silver or gold moving within the immediacy data or short-term data, it never seems to get that part right. And I think I attribute this back to, I've been following this thing for a number of years. When stuff is very, 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 very old, and these old webbot reports, and it was back then, and it's still in the reports, and it's still in the reports. For example, death of the dollar, death of the petrodollar, gold and silver rising. Now keep in mind, the webbot had been talking about gold and silver rising for quite a while. Way before 2011 came around and we had $1,900 record-breaking gold prices and $50 silver, which again pretty much tied 1980 or 81 or whatever it was, off by some pennies or whatever, but that still wasn't what it was forecasting. That was nothing compared to what it said would be coming. But recently he said it could double within a matter of weeks, a few weeks. So look at I want to show you this picture before I get into the silver thing. This is a giant lake. It says this is Bolivia's second largest lake. It's quite large. However, and the webbots talked about all these lakes and rivers and things are going to be drying up, like especially these lakes, like overnight. Just the lake was there, we came back the next day and it was gone. I've already done a few, maybe three, I should say, 2 to 3. I know at least 2, so it's probably 3. I do so many videos every week, it's hard to keep track of exactly how many I did on a specific subject, but I'm going to say around 3 videos I've done very recently, in the matter of a month or so, showing webbot said to look for this, and then all of a sudden this news comes out. Oh, this lake over here dried up overnight. Oh, here's another one overnight. Oh, here was a river flowing through this village. It's gone overnight, literally overnight. So here's a picture, but this, from what I'm seeing, it says these images are taken less than 3 years apart. So my question is, what was it like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? This is a massive, massive, massive lake, huge. But someone messaged me on my web forum, realistnews.net, and he said, hey, I say he, it could be a she, who knows. I think I have a webbot hit for you today, July 21st. In the last webbot report, Cliff talked about silver trading at $18.88 before making a jump to $38. Well, silver did not close at $18.88 today, but SLV did, which is paper silver. Check the closing price of SLV today. We know that Cliff's predictions are sometimes a bit off target, so maybe it's the iShares Silver Trust, which again is SLV, that we should be looking at. Thought you might find this interesting. Yeah, actually it's a female. So SLV price. Take a little peek at this. Can I move that for you? Is that going to help? I think I got it cut off. Let's try this again. $18.88. Now that's interesting. we have something directly related to silver, which is the iSilvers Trust SLV, paper silver. I was just recently reading an article, and it was just a reminder. I've already known this because I remember when it happened, but it was a reminder essentially. They had this bozo from, I think, CNBC go down to the secret location of the GLD vault, which again, SLV and GLD is the same thing. One's gold, one's silver. And this guy says, oh, there's plenty of gold. Look, there's gold all over this vault. He picks one up and shows this big bar. And when he did that, if you paused it, you could actually see the serial number. Now, he's alleging I'm in the GLD vault. So every piece of gold you see behind me and all these bars on stacked up and everything is GLD. It's their shares of the gold. But someone very quickly ran the serial number. You could search for the serial numbers online and find out who owns what, basically. And this gold bar was not owned by GLD. So they try to go out there and, poo-poo the people like me out there trying to expose this corruption and, double dipping, triple dipping into this silver and gold. In other words, there's tons of claims on the same silver, the tons of claims on the same gold, just like I just gave you the example. Oh, this is the GLD gold, flips it up, and it's got a serial number that doesn't belong to GLD. So what does that mean? That means, again, so many multiple parties have claims on these gold bars. Same with silver. It's insane. So they always make it look like, oh, we got plenty of gold, we got plenty of silver. But they're all using the same stash. So this 1888 thing is very interesting. What I can't remember, I thought Cliff High talked about this the other day, not in his Webbot report. I'm going to go look at that Webbot report real fast and see if I can see 1888. I'll search for the 18 and see if I can come up with something, because I thought it was in his video he talked about it. Hang on one second. Okay, so my subscriber had it right. It was in the July 2016 Webbot report, which I know I'm in July now, but this was released and given to me, I think, on the 2nd, if I recall, of July. First week of July for sure. And I found the section. Also, there's another section in here about 18 days in July that, because again, I was searching for the term 18 and it came up, and I said, that's interesting. I'm going to read that to you. It's not related to silver, but it's related to some other stuff that's happened recently. But first, let's tackle this 1888 thing. The data descriptors for silver have 38 as being the only number between 1888, $18.88, or just 18.88 is what it actually says, which is also described as a barrier and the new all-time highs. So noting that these sets are linguistic and not numeric based, and that the numerals come in via linguistic structures, much as though being reported after the fact using these numbers, and our psychics bring in the headlines and thus the numbers. The 38 number for silver is especially interesting as it has a correlation via crosslinks over to the Bitcoin sets. This correlation would have Bitcoin be in the thousands, as in 1,000, at or near the time that silver goes to 38. Now, I will say, when it comes to Bitcoin, man, has the Webbot been on fire with those predictions. So clearly, Bitcoin's not there. Matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly. I know it's in the high 600s or mid to high 600s at the moment, and I will tell you, as I'm doing this video, it is 668 and 59 cents. So we should just watch Bitcoin over the next week or two. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, it was in the Webbot report. Now this other thing I want to talk to you about. I think, in fact, hang on one second. Okay. So what I was going to say, all I can think about, and I'm going to read this to you, but all I can think about as soon as I started reading that sentence around the word 18, and it talked about 18 days in July, remember that? Is all these shootings of police officers And some people saying it's a hoax, it's fake, we don't believe it, this one's real, that one's not real. But generally speaking, it's being treated as real. I mean, everywhere you look, there's no, aside from some people online and on YouTube calling a lot of this hoaxes, the general consensus is these things have happened, whatever. I want you to just keep that in mind as I read this to you, because I think this might be talking about that phenomena. We've never had a time period where that many police officers have been shot. We had remember in Houston, Texas. Then we had, I don't even know which state it was after that, 3 more officers down. I just read this morning someone shot a female officer with an AK-47. Didn't really make news hardly for whatever reason. Prior to that, you've had the other ones. I think one was in Tennessee and 2 or 3 other states. There were shootings right after. I mean, like right after these events. So it's been essentially been a steady stream of these events, right? So here, let me just start with this. The larger failure of the social contract sets, keep in mind, I got to stop again, I'm sorry. The social contract. Some people may wonder, what exactly does that mean? What is the social contract? The social contract is simply this. You and I are citizens, bottom of the power structure, if you will. Government is on the very top of that power structure, and we're supposed to have this agreement through laws, Constitution, rights, freedoms, etc. That's the social contract. And one of those parties is eating away at it. So the other party, that's the people, are starting to say, we don't want to use the social contract the way it's been set up because you guys clearly are above the law. And I'm going to say it again, I'll have to add this to what I just talked about, the police officers being shot. But prior to the police officer being shot, it looked like 2 black men were shot, which caused the retaliation. Again, whether you believe it, hoax, now, whatever, that's the official story. And we just had, and this was on Alex Jones' site as well, a man who was trying to help an autistic person in the middle of the street. The cops are there. They thought he had a gun, the autistic guy. It was a toy truck. And the black guy, who's like a counselor or something, had his hands up and like practically laying down. I mean, just way out, and he's yelling to the cops, look, I'm a counselor. He's got autism. I'm here to, try to help. And they said, and next thing he knows, he said, I felt like a little sting in my, which I don't forgot where he said he got shot. But he felt like a little sting. Maybe it was his leg. Huh?
Yeah, leg.
It was a leg. And they show him in the hospital, but no one saw any wounds. There's video from someone filming him down there like this, but no video of the actual shooting yet. So again, the people out there may say, well, that's another hoax or not, whatever. All I'm saying is this is major big news. It's all the same stuff related. So the larger failure of the social contract is what's taking place. You're actually witnessing this, and it started heavily this month. When people decide to shoot at cops for retaliation of their own race getting shot at, I think that's a very strong indicator that the so-called social contract has just failed. Okay? The larger failure of the social contract sets are arguing for a conjunction of unexpected, as in not imaginable, not able to be planned for, or not on the radar, circumstances that are showing up as producing discord at precisely the wrong moment in a plot against USA Pop. Now let's think about that for a second. Hillary Clinton, 28 pages of 9/11 released, Hillary Clinton's deal with the FBI all at the same time. Boy, oh boy, did the club need a shooting to happen. Bingo, it happened Sunday. Great, fantastic. That's out of the news now. So I read that and say, conjunction, sets are arguing for a conjunction of unexpected, as in not imaginable, not able to be planned for, not on the radar, circumstances that are showing up as producing discord at precisely the wrong moment in a plot against the USA Pop. The circumstances are described as special to the environment of the intended victims, as well as being bizarre and, when reported, widely disbelieved. Now I'm thinking, The guy with his hands up, laying on the ground. I mean, just huge apart from each other. No quick movements, not reaching, just completely stuck like this. And saying basically, my hands are up, don't shoot. I'm a counselor. I'm here to help this guy. He's got autism. I think that would be categorized as bizarre and, when reported, widely disbelieved. We are in disbelief that you got shot by this officer. And the guy said, when I asked him, why'd you shoot me? He said, I don't know. That's what his response was. This man in his hospital bed said, when I asked the cop why he shot me, he said, I don't know. Does that not fit this perfectly right now? While the new aspect/attribute sets are showing that the circumstances are beyond belief and wildly incredible, the data nonetheless shows that the bizarre reports will be factual, and further, that they will actually be accepted by USA Pop in spite of the continuously stated descriptor of unbelievable. As the data flows through model space, the image suggested by the growth patterns of the data is of an ongoing situation that may drag on for days. How about these shootings, the same type, same kinds, plus retaliations, plus more cops shooting people, dragging on for days? This is exactly what's happening. Within the section of USA Pop, the movement within model space occupies slightly less than 18 days. Within the data accretion patterns, there appears to be a forecast for fouled up plot/agenda to be reaching into the minds of the mainstream USA Pop via live coverage being net funneled via social media. How about the girl that filmed her boyfriend? Remember her, please tell me you didn't kill my boyfriend. Please tell me. And again, I don't care if you think it's fake, real, whatever. We have to go. The webbot is only going to grab what essentially he says is going to be very big news type stuff. So if it mentions things like this, it's not going to be some bozo talking about on the internet and no one else knows about it. It's going to be known by people. So as I'm reading this to you, all these things I'm talking about, you know about. You've already heard about all these things. So, it makes me think, I wonder if that's what this is about. Much of the other new sets are showing up in support of a new phenomena being unveiled as it is being created. The detail sets for these descriptors are confusing, dense, and extensively cross-linked over to the Space Ghost Farts entity, where these terminating sets can be inferred to point to something not yet named. So the idea comes across that we have yet an unknown dominated set trying to describe a social phenomenon that has not yet appeared and is both novel/new and, as of this writing, unnamed. What is known about our unnamed social phenomenon pending is the near-term future, pending in the near-term future is that its effects will be very intensely felt and cause long-lasting/multiple generational changes in the general social contract. Other hinted impacts include a recasting of how USA Pop perceives itself now based on new history being provided. So that previous sentence, cause long-lasting multiple generation changes in the general social contract. All these police shootings, and again, the last one I just saw, the guy's hands up. Look, I just got shot. Like my hands were not fighting. No one was even on me. I'm here in the middle of the street, laying down. These police shootings of unarmed people, non-violent people, some, like this one, I think, again, related to the social contract's going to snap. Did the officer get charged? Nope. Officer just choked someone, did he get charged? Nope. Officer just beat the hell out of this guy who was handcuffed? Nope. We had a grand jury. Grand jury found him not guilty. What else could we ask for? That's funny. Grand juries never seem to find any of the cops guilty when I'm talking about the ones that blatantly killed someone or beat the hell out of them. Again, you can go back to Rodney King. Oh, he was a drug dealer who's running from the police. I get it. But when a man's like hog-tied practically behind his back, handcuffed, and he's just laying there on the ground, and everyone's taking turns beating the hell out of him with nightsticks and stuff, how does anybody find an officer not guilty on that? You know what I mean? So I think the social contract's fading. And I think what also helped throw it over the top of our government, Hillary Clinton, get out of jail free. Classified information, 122 pages of classified. Yep, get out of jail free. You had that on one device? No, had on 4 devices. You said one. You lied under congressional, during the hearing. Boom, more charges. There's 2 sets of laws. The ones for them, which nobody follows, and the ones for us, which we have to follow. So again, this is all social contract related. So I think this whole 18 days thing, we've had these shootings, both against the police, from the police. We have Hillary Clinton's big, gigantic thing with the email scandal exploding. I mean, it's just incredible to me. I think the webbot is picking up on this stuff, and that's why I'm reading this to you. And I know I said this will be a short video, but damn it, when I get into something and then it gets me to something else and something else, I just have to be heard. I have to give it all to you so you have the same complete understanding as what I was thinking. Got to give it to you in full. Take care.